Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Endless Legend 2 as we're playing with the Last Lords. So we're starting out today's episode the same way that we started out the previous video, with a battle against the Necrophage. So we do have the superior numbers here, and that's without the spawning of our other units. Let's go ahead and move our range unit, which are mages, not archers. Let's move them over to here, and then we're going to do the manual battle. And then we'll want to move our units to the forest here. We don't want to move to this area because then they get the uphill bonus. Same thing with this here, they'll get the uphill bonus. Now we'll get the forest defensive bonus, but I think it's just better to move to these locations. That gives them the defensive bonus, but that's okay. And then we want to spawn our special unit here, put him in the middle. Well, this guy will be over here. Set them up to defend, move our range unit so they can hopefully strike right there. And yeah, set these all up to defend, with the exception of the hero, since obviously he already used his turn to spawn this guy. So they're going to come down this way, so they'll get the defensive bonus in the trees. He's a flying unit, so he can go any way he wants. That's interesting. So I think we should focus our fire on probably taking out the hero, though. Okay, yeah, he can pretty much kill him on his own. So yeah, let's fire against him, and they're very efficient against flying units. And then we're gonna strike with our hero here, kill this unit off. Remember, these larva units are very easy to kill, and go ahead and strike the hero. Do a bit of damage there, so that's gonna result in it being their turn. Okay, so they moved to attack the range unit. That was smart, but I think it did result in him getting hit. I mean, it's good to go after the range unit, but not if it's going to result in you taking so much damage. Now we're going to be able to easily kill him. Although we won't be able to kill him with this unit. That's interesting. We'll have to use the range unit instead. I mean, that works. And then we'll go ahead and just strike. See how the best way to do this would be. I want to make sure that guy dies, but yeah, we'll have to. Oh, he did die. Alright, didn't say that he would, but that works. Alright, so just one turn left, and they only have the one larva remaining. So this will be real easy. We'll just hit him with the hero. Get that kill, heal up all our units, and we did get some dust as a reward. Killed their main army, stopped them from going wherever they were attempting to move to. Now we got to deal with these guys down here, which I'm not entirely sure with our reduced movement points if we'll be able to get down there in time to stop them from devouring the land there. I guess we'll find out. So Prime, the one who stalks afar, so this is the Necrophage leader, kind of, because I guess the Queen's the actual leader, but the leader of their faction or whatever, the one you'd play as if you played as this faction. Says, I have no reports of your troops in our territory. The swarm notes your obedience. Okay, so I don't know if they're happy about that. Oh, did they already finish there? No, they just moved. They moved over to here to go after the Blaze Graves, which is actually beneficial because we might be able to get there in time. Yeah, it looks like just barely. Not sure how much longer we're going to be facing that penalty. It's a few more turns at least. We do have the dust now that we could go ahead and rush out a population, or we could instead rush the merchant's house. I say let's go ahead and give ourselves another population here. Figure out where we want to place them and get the button clicked on. Still going through these tutorials. So let's move them over to here. So that gives us more production and dust per turn, but we lose some of our approval. And it seems that we are attacked over here, unfortunately. So that was one of the things I was worried about with us being in the monsoon season, where all the minor factions are aggressive. We don't have a chance of winning here, so we're going to want to retreat. That does result in your unit taking like half damage. So basically that means the unit can retreat twice before they're killed, and we can't heal this unit either because they're not in our territory, just one away. So if they can reach us again and attack us, basically a retreat would result in their death, unfortunately. Let's go and enter turn, see what happens. When we get that unit out of there, we will. Just enough to heal. Suppose we could go this way and uncover this territory. So let's move over to this location and then heal our unit using our dust. But we gotta stay away from those minor factions during the monsoon. They're always under threat of being attacked. So I don't know, I think we should be able to attack them next turn, but we have 2 turns till they devour the land, so hopefully we should be good there. Because I really wanted access to that resource. Yeah, this should result in that retreat. Yeah, so they've retreated. I want to see if we can't engage them in order to destroy them. Of course, these necromancers are always aggressive now. We're fighting them. We've destroyed 2 of their villages. We need to destroy the other one, and I suppose that's going to be what we do after we deal with this 1 unit here. Alright, let's go ahead and get these scouts moving. Like I said, we'll uncover this territory next, and hopefully don't run into any minor faction enemies, but there are minor factions here, so yeah, they might end up attacking us. We finished researching the scientific charter. So that gives you the laboratory, and curation improves the rewards from curiosities. Let's go into our technology screen. We'll see that we have completed the year 1, the years of survival, and so that unlocks year 2, the years of toil. You could finish the research here. There's only 2 techs left to get. Keystones, unlocking the bridges and the dams, and then the stonework to get the keep. So this tech is pretty important for defending your city, so eventually we'll want to get it. We might wait until we can get it a little bit quicker. Right now it takes 6 turns, and we now have the other techs opened up, which might be a little bit more useful for us right now, because I don't see us using either of these 2 at the moment. Dams can be helpful because certain events happen that could result in your rivers drying up, and that will stop that from happening. And of course bridges can be helpful too. But I think we should get something from the second tech screen, or second year. But we already unlock a few things immediately. So we got the military discipline 1. This is a +1 unit slot available for each army, so our armies can be larger. Iron Games 1. This will draw a hero from the draft of 4. So we're going to get our second hero available. And then the last one here is Dust Levitation. You can see the localization issues here because this is an early access game. But we're going to get access to the Palanquin of the Profane as both a militia unit and one that we can recruit. But speaking of it being early access, remember this game did come out on Monday. Again, into early access, so you can purchase it if you don't mind playing EA games. I know some people, myself included, I often prefer to wait until games are officially out, and generally I only play early access games if it's for the channel. Usually I like to wait until they're complete, have all their features, got the balance issues, ironed out. So we have a lot of good options available here. But I think what we'll end up getting is the trading post, so the market tech, so that we can sell any goods we have. This also constructs roads, so we can get around a little bit faster. It constructs a road in between the trading posts. So I think it would be helpful to get that. Just show you guys all of our options available. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but if a tech has this little icon here, it'll be different based on your faction. Just tells you it's a faction unique technology. So the Lord's Discipline, this is a really good one to get because it unlocks the unit specializations. So we can specialize our units and make them better. But again, we're gonna start with markets. We have to get 8 more techs in order to unlock the next year. So you can always flip through these and see what's available and the bonuses you'll get when you get to that next stage. But to pass this first one, we had to get 8 techs. So once we got the 8 technologies researched, we were able to go over to this one. So I don't know if I explained all that just yet. But yeah, this is just letting us know we've entered a new era and we got those bonuses available. So again, we're trying to attack these guys here. It looks like we again have 3 movement points. So we got rid of that penalty that we were facing. So let's go and attack these guys. Of course, they're going to retreat, and they do not take as much damage from the retreats as our own unit did. And they got another army of maggots or larvae coming over here, unfortunately. And then we have another one right here. Could attack him with this guy. I don't know that we'd win that fight, though. Probably not. Frankly, guys, we've gotta start prioritizing building units. So let's go ahead and get some more units going now. Could, of course, get this new unit that we have. But it'd take 8 turns to build them. And I think we should get a unit faster. We'll probably try and rush them out if we get the dust, but these guys are cheaper, so let's just get one of them, and then maybe we can rush them out in the next turn, make this army a little bit more powerful. And we're also going to be building a new army because we have a new hero that we can recruit. Which heroes are available is based off of the population in your empire. So since we have 25% of Neroy in our empire, we have one of their leaders available. They'll all start as level 2. That's based on where we're at here in the game. So, you know, your heroes are not, you know, starting at level 1 and just not able to compete. So that's kind of nice that they start at a higher level. So these are the hero traits of this character and the counselor trait if we were to put them onto the council. And then the one unique abilities for having these guys are these two here, the shiny hunter and the major hustler. And this is a caster unit. We have evasive maneuvers because I think it's because it's a flying unit. So it can fly over obstacles and enemy units, and when moving during battle, it ignores all attacks of opportunity. So basically lets them, you know, flee away from melee enemies without getting hit. So useful ability. We basically have 3 casters available here, which, you know, our one hero that we have already is a warrior. This is a defender. But we have 3 casters, and I think we're going to select a caster. And honestly, probably Bishop Anna would be best, because I have found that the skills that are most useful for casters are determination and resilience, or at least for our specific faction. Because if you look at what those unlock, resilience affects a lot of skills, particularly here in the caster skill tree. Or I mean, it boosts a lot of the skills. And then with the determination, well, it doesn't affect these ones as much. It does affect a lot of the caster ones. And if you compare that with, say, intuition, not as big a role, just a couple over here. And might, as you'd expect, is also not as important for casters. It does have an effect here, but the effect is not as high as what you get from determination. So I really think this is probably the best character. Here's her biography, if you want to read that. The hero trait, housewarming host, that only affects them once we get the haven, so it doesn't help us immediately. And then here's the counselor trait, not a bad one, giving you industry and population slots. So you get industry for citizens and artisans. So a pretty decent one there. Just to show you our other caster option, I guess we could look at the Baron here as well. This is Leonardo. He has the fast learner, so that's nice because you'll get the experience faster for your hero. The grifter has a penalty with it, you know, the approval, but you'll get increased dust and industry. And then of course has the points in resilience and intuition. We're going to have the same equipment, which I think we unlocked something for our casters that we'll be able to place on this hero. And then here's the Baron Jocelyn, the defender unit. So they'll give 2+ industry per hero level, but that's again only once you get the haven. And then they have the fencing star counselor trait, and then of course have the defender skill tree. But we're going to go with Bishop Anna. Let's go ahead and recruit her, and then we'll want to get that new equipment placed onto her and also get a skill selected. So this is the casting idol. Increases determination by 2, so that'd be really helpful because we've seen that determination is very useful for the caster class, and also grants plus 36 damage on the hero. So when we compare that to our current item, determination is going to go up by 1 and damage will go up by 6, but then the skills are also different. They both have the ranged 4, so they can attack in a 4-tile radius, which is pretty far compared to our other range unit, which only has, I think, range 3. And then this gives us the second wind. Restores 30 health on targeted units. So basically it's a healing thing and applies inspired compared to what we get with the casting idol. The breaching attack applies vulnerable to targeted units and soldiers litany. So this is the active skill that's granted. So rather than healing like that other item, it's going to apply shield. And then you get the mighty, which increases the damage of the units. So it's a buff that we'll have access to. And then this passive ability here, it reduces the defense of any units that we attack. So yeah, we definitely want to put that in place. And then we'll also give her the Crimson Wing Rune, increasing her determination even further, and giving us the Fleet Winds. So this is +1 movement points to itself and all flying units of the army. So nice passive skill here. And then we'll also give her the Flask of Dustfire. So yeah, we'll see those abilities down here. This is the passive skill for the class. So when conducting a siege, adds 50% damage to breach the fortification, and when attacking an infantry unit, it adds 20% damage. So pretty useful. So let's go into the skill tree. We can get we can invest 1 point. We have Determination 4 and Resilience 1. So our determination is very high, so we probably want to make sure that we're investing in something that determination affects, which the only one really available that I could see investing in would be the Shared Ward. This will be another active skill that will grant shield to the targeted friendly unit, and we'll get a lot extra shield with our determination. So I think it'll be like a total of 60 shield. So you definitely want to get that. It'll be helpful for some of the tougher battles that we might face. So we have this new unit, but without any melee units to defend her, she's not going to be that useful. The unit that we're currently building will probably go to her. I think that makes the most sense, so that she can start moving around and attacking some of these really weak units here. Since we are being invaded, we're having a lot of problems from the Necrophage. Again, they're kind of a tougher enemy to start next to. We just want to skip our turn here. Wait till she gets a melee unit. Actually, you know what? Since this unit has already retreated, they shouldn't be able to retreat again this turn, so that'll allow us to easily get this unit destroyed. And we'll just want to do the instant resolution for this particular battle. So we finally got that larva unit destroyed. Still got to deal with this army over here, and then this small unit right over there, which will likely raid us in this location, or flee. And it looks like it's fled over to here. So let me see if we can rush this unit out. We can, so let's go ahead and do exactly that, and then have her join with it. And then I think we should be able to attack this unit. Yeah. So that'll result in them retreating. I'll offer to here somewhere. We'll have to see if that legion attacks them. And then this army here, let's go after this horde. Obviously it's going to take more movement points than we have at the moment. We do need to get something else constructing, and I really think we should get another unit, guys. So let's get the Palanquin of the Profane, and we'll probably throw that unit into this army here. She'll just have to fight with what she has for now. And then we also need to move our scout unit over here. Continue exploring, seeing what we can find. So another river over here, might be the coast actually. Yeah, it looks like it's the coast. This unit has moved back into our territory, so we're going to attack them again. Force another retreat. It's rare, but today the swarm decides to be prudent. They retreated from battle. Okay, so we're getting little messages from them. So I'm not sure where that enemy unit went. Let's start moving over here because we need to attack this village. So even if they're not over here, we can finally get rid of them, since that's the last of the villages to get this area pacified, and then we'll probably settle that region as well and get our second city set up. It usually doesn't take me this long to get a second city set up, but we've been busy. We've been fighting the Necrophage, and so they've very much distracted us. Now we get rewards, of course, from those battles, but we really do need to get a second city established. So they have arrived again. Here's that swarm up here, and I really want to get them dealt with, because I don't want them coming in our territory causing us problems. But it might just be easier next turn to go ahead and attack these guys, just get that done with. So we're going to attack here again, And it looks like they will actually battle us now. Okay, so this should be an easy battle. So let's just do the instant resolution. I mean, I do want to show off her fighting, but yeah, done all these battles. I don't want to take the time. Very hesitant to move up here with that minor faction. Yeah, they're right there. So they'll definitely attack us and we'll have to retreat again in the next turn. Let's see how long this is going to take. So 6 more turns, and yeah, we don't yet have the dust, but we will in the next turn. While the dust to rush them out, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I would like to have the unit here for this battle, but yeah, we will not. So we're going to do the manual battle. We don't want to do the instant resolution because he won't spawn his unit, and you can see that we'll lose both of these units. So a manual battle would definitely be a much better outcome. We're going to place our units here. Okay, so this is actually uphill. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes what's uphill. I know that this is uphill, so if you're in the forest, yeah, you get the penalty there. So I think our best outcome, if we don't want them to get the uphill bonus, is to just be placed up along here. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. So we're going to need to move forward a bit. Maybe go, this is what we'll do, we'll go with these 3 tiles here. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it, and then have a range unit over here. So let's go ahead and move them here. And then this guy's going to be, our hero's going to be right here. And then we'll spawn our unit here. And this guy will be here. And that way they don't get any of the uphill bonuses. In fact, if they move this way, we'll be able to attack downhill. That's really the hope, is they go after the ranged unit, and then they'll get hit with the opportunity attacks, although I don't know if Larva does get hit with those. And we can attack downhill. They are kind of far away, so it's going to take them some time to get over here. Probably 2 turns. Yeah, it'll take 1 more turn for them to get over here. And it's just the larva units. So let's go ahead and set up our defenses. And where we have our unit set, you know, this unit which gives those defensive bonuses to everybody around them, it's affecting all our 3 other units. And they decided to attack this unit first. They did go where I wanted them to go. Excellent. So now we'll be able to attack downhill and get that nice bonus. Heroes completely surrounded, but they're not doing much damage. I'm hoping this will kill them. Yeah, it did. Excellent. So that also healed us there. And then we'll hit them with the range unit. See how we want to do this. Let's actually go here so that we can attack downhill. And then hopefully kill them with our range unit. There you go, beautiful. They will have the forest bonus right here. And they also got the attack downhill against our mages. So that's unfortunate. Alright, so we're gonna have to do some moving here. Okay, so we'll attack them here first. And then we'll attack here. And we'll go here and get rid of this unit. They will be able to attack downhill against our hero, but not really too much of an issue, guys. It's not like these guys do a lot of damage. I was really surprised that the auto battle was going to end up being so bad. I know they wouldn't have spawned this guy. Oh, I didn't know that one was still alive. My bad. Okay, well, let's rectify that. And I think that's it. Alright, so we got victory and 292 dust. And came out of this in a much better place than we would have. So with her here, I really feel like we should keep her in our own territory for now to defend against all these invasions. Since our main army will be attacking here against the foundlings in the next turn. And we were attacked up here again, not surprised at all. Let's retreat. Hopefully we can get back to our own territory to heal them up. So scouting is not working out well during the monsoon period, but that has ended. This is the next stage I really wanted to get to in this Let's Play, because I wanted to show the monsoon and the Tidefalls. So the seas have receded. What new danger lies ahead? So with the tide going out, the ocean has receded and uncovered new lands. So these 4 tiles were not here, guys, before, and now they are. You got all this additional land, so this area here was safe because it was covered by sea. It was surrounded by the sea. It was a little peninsula here. And that's no longer the case. There's new territories over here. Might be advantageous. Maybe we can explore that, find something, or settle it. Or maybe it's a negative. Maybe there's an enemy over here that can now get over towards our city that we once thought was protected. And so this is a really interesting mechanic, and you can also see how the rivers would dissipate if you don't build dams, as the if you know the source of them is coming from the sea or whatever. Yeah, this can result in those rivers drying up. Well, let's go and get this unit healed up, since I took that damage from that retreat. And then let's take our main army here and attack these foundlings. But yeah, this is one of the really interesting mechanics in the game with the monsoons and the Tidefalls, which I did want to come in here and get this unit rushed out. We won't wait for the unit. We're going to send him over towards this army, but we're just going to go ahead and do the attack now. We don't want to bribe them, we want to attack the village. So they have a strength of 456 compared to our 497, so we obviously don't want to do the instant resolution, since that wouldn't even win the battle. So we're going to do the manual battle again. And I didn't move our units around, but that's okay. Since we do have the first turn, it's not as important. Let's move this unit over to here. They'll go... Well, they don't have enough movement points, but they'll go over to here. Our hero will go over to here. And then let's spawn that unit. Alright, so let's go ahead and set these guys all up to defend. And then these guys will come towards us. I'm hoping they don't come around this way. It looks like they might. I want them to come down here. That would be for the best. So we'll just defend again. And I do play very defensively. And unfortunately they're just out of range. But we could move one spot here to hit them. And yeah, if they come up around this way, then they'll cause some issues. We'll have to change the location of this mage, but it doesn't look like that's what happened. Yeah, they're going to charge at us, as anticipated. They do have another unit, though, so we'll see what they do. Nope, they're going to come on down here. So we're going to want to open up with Duke Unwin here. And we're going to do the Power Slash, where we hit both of these 2 units here. Could have waited until this unit got over here, and then we could have hit them all. But it's fine. We'll strike with that unit. And we're going to keep this one here for the forest bonus. Because I assume they'll come over this way. If they don't this turn, then we'll go ahead and move them out. But yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, they moved over here. Oh, they did move over here. Excellent. So we'll get to keep the forest bonus. That's what I was hoping to see. So we could use one of our active skills. We have the Poison Salt's power. There's no way to hit 3 units without hitting our own units. So we're not going to use that. The Death Blow, I don't think any of them are considered damaged, because I think that's a status effect rather than actually being damaged. So we wouldn't ignore the defense. We get a 45 attack there. Slightly higher than what we'd do if we just attacked. Could just kill that unit as well. I think that's what we'll do. Let's just get rid of this unit here. And then I guess also strike with the mages. Could have moved the range over to here. I should have, because then you get that uphill bonus. I was hesitant to do that before because I didn't want to encourage them to wrap around here. Our spawn unit's taking a bit of damage here. Yeah, but now we can get the upper ground bonus. So we'll strike there. That gives us the Gifts of the Fallen, heals up all our units here. And then let's focus our attacks on this guy. And that should kill him. Yeah, excellent. So just, oh no, still a little bit of health left. Okay, so we'll have to get both these units taken out, which hopefully can do that in one turn. We'll see. We'll have this unit, since he doesn't do a lot of damage, strike there. Hero comes out of the forest, and why not use the death blow, even though they're not actually damaged. Still does more damage than normal attack. Use our range attack, and then we'll have the stalwarts come out here and finish them off. And there we go. Beautiful. I think all of our units are fully healed, you know, since that spawn unit doesn't matter. Duke Unwin Weybridge's Haven is now available since he has gotten to level 5. So our hero has unlocked the ability to build a haven. A haven is a structure that will allow a hero to pick a companion, unlocking unique economic and military effects. And with us leveling up, we'll also have a skill point we can invest in. Alright, so that's a victory. That means we have taken out the Foundlings. So we'll be setting up a camp in the next turn. But let's go ahead and level up Duke Unwin. So you notice that we have unlocked the next level of skills. A lot of really good stuff here. Our intuition's probably a little too low to get this one. I mean, it's still 5 damage plus the ones with 6 damage total for all non-hero units. So it's certainly helpful. I'll just show you guys some of the other options that are available. This one's really good if you have might. But our might is just 1. That's 6 points, but that's just for 6 points of damage, but that's just for our hero unit. So if you're going to get something for damage, I think it'd be better to get this one, because it applies to the other units, but not your hero. Could also get this one, Undying Will, when recovering health, which happens all the time for our units, because every time they kill somebody, they get health. Then it applies Inspired to adjacent friendly units, so that'll increase damage by 15%. I don't think that's going to be as much damage as we get from this one. So we're going to get that, since it applies to all the units other than the hero. So it'll make our army much better overall. Okay, so with that wiped out, again we'll be setting up a camp with his next turn. Her, I kind of want to send her Explorer there, but we also got to deal with all these enemy units keep attacking us. I suppose we could have her set up the camp. But no, let's go down here. We also need to build something. I think we're going to get another unit. Really focusing on army. And we'll just purchase this unit. We need another melee unit for that army. And I guess we can get another one. But, you know what? Let's actually build something. We've been focusing on units for a while. The last thing we constructed was the merchant's house here. The best thing we could probably get is this improvement. It is 9 turns, but it's 16 dust per turn. So that's a significant jump in our income there. And then let's take this army and send them as close as we can to join her. And I guess that's the end of our turn. Alright, so we're going to be setting up a camp over here, though there's another army we got to deal with. Good God, yeah, just continual attacks from these guys. I think we're going to get the camp set up first. And although it's saying these 2 locations are best, I think we're going to build it right here. Because you're going to get the +5 approval. You're going to get more science than you get here. Obviously, less dust than both locations, so not great for dust. But you get as much production as you get from here and just 1 less from that one. So I think this is probably the best location. It's the purple leaf that's getting you some of those nice bonuses there. So we're going to get that established, and then we'll also want to have this army join here. Although they can't do it just yet. Hopefully they'll come in here and attack us. They would be a supporting unit, but yeah, we wouldn't want that to go down that way. And then let's have them join here. And then continue moving down south to see what we can find over there. And with this unit healed, I guess we'll want to continue going north. Yeah, let's continue going north. Hopefully they'll be a bit more safe now that it's not the monsoon season, so not as many of the minor factions will be aggressive. Some of them still will be, obviously. So let's see what they do here. Uh-oh. Yeah, they did attack us. So their total strength is 844 since they have 3 armies total. Now given it's Mostly just these feeder and larva units. So a lot of the larvae. The feeders are a lot better than the larvae. So it's going to be a more difficult fight. Now we can spawn that one unit. Yeah, overall this is not going to be an easy battle. Even when we stick to the defense. But you know what? Since this is pretty much the end of the episode, we're very close to the end here, and we're not going to have any other videos in the series, I feel like this is a fantastic way to go out. Win or lose, we're going to fight this battle out. And of course we're on the defense, so they have to come to us. I mean, they come to us anyways, usually. But we're going to want to defend up on this ridge, I think. It's probably the best way to do it. Now, we do have 2 ranged units now. So I'm not sure exactly how we're going to go about doing this. I feel like we should let them come up around here so we can attack downhill and then try and defend all 4 of these tiles here. I think that's really going to be the best way to do it. I don't know how much we'll be able to do because remember they get the turn first. Let's do the manual battle and hope they can't get over here in 1 turn. I feel like it should take at least 1 for them to get over here. These are faster units. Yeah, it is going to take them a little while to get over here. They might end up attacking around this way, but the way I'm going to set the defense up, I don't think it's going to matter. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our units established. So we're going to move. I think this one has the higher range, so it makes sense to put them over here. And then this unit will go over here. If they come up around here, then they can attack our range units with melee, but at least they'll be uphill. And then we'll want, let me see, can this one get over here? They can. So let's place them over here. Set them up to defend. Hero goes over here. And then we'll want to go ahead and spawn our Pantanal. And then set them up to defend. So these 4 units will get the defensive bonuses. And you can see that long range there. So they will attack us this turn, I think. At least some of them might be able to. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so that lets us get 1 ranged attack before they arrive. So that's pretty helpful. But we do have some different abilities. They're going to be really useful to us. In particular, using our poison salts power. Now, I want to hit as many of these as we can. So this would be the best place to throw it. That's going to damage 4 units. Maybe we get an opportunity to damage 5, but it's not worth risking. Let's just hit all these units here. Like that one almost died. It's pretty powerful there. And then we also get to strike with our range units, which I really want to focus on plays with fire, the hero unit. And do as much damage as we can to them to get them eliminated. Alright, that's excellent. So now we'll be on the defensive up here on our hill. Again, they can come up around here and attack the range units, but which is what they did. We still get to attack downhill. Now that's the only location where they don't get the downhill penalty. We just didn't have enough units to cover all that. But I think it's a pretty good setup here, guys. We have a good chance of winning. Now, the real question is, should we strike that guy or use our power slash? Oh, it won't hit all 3 of these, that's right. You still do a lot of damage to these 2, but I'm wondering if somebody else will get there. Or if we can just do, maybe just do it like this. Yeah, get rid of that unit. Get the healing from the Gifts of the Fallen. And then let's go and strike downhill at our enemies. So we'll attack this one with both of these units. Got another Gifts of the Fallen there. I don't know if anybody had any damage. And then we still have the ranged attacks. So we'll kill that unit. And could kill this unit too. Let's get rid of this one over here. because somebody else will just move there anyway. It might be the more powerful unit. So now they get a turn. They're going to go after the range units. Not unexpected there. But yeah, this is definitely going in our favor, guys. Big battle, though. They threw a lot of units at us. 2 full-size armies plus another unit. But through good tactics, we're able to get the win here. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a victory now. And so now let's probably just get rid of these 2 units, I think. Just so they can't attack us. And there's just the 1 unit left. Oh, there's one over here too. Okay, I didn't see that one. Alright, so they're focusing their fire on the range units, which is smart, but they should have focused on just one of them. That's your best chance to win there. So we're going to attack downhill, and this should be it here. There we go. Beautiful. So that's our victory. And we've achieved a deed. So this is, you know, achievements that everybody's working towards getting. And only one empire can get it. So it was the first to eliminate 30 units. And then it gives you a permanent effect here. In our case, it's a +1 movement points on unit. So that's really helpful. So now when we take a look at our unit, you'll see they'll have the extra movement points there. And we did establish this here. Excellent. So what we're going to want to do is evolve it into a city using 200 influence. Could attempt to attach it, but you'll notice we aren't able to do that. The city hall needs to be upgraded. So we're going to establish our second city. Take a look at where the population is. We'll probably put them into the scribes. And can we buy another population here? We can. So let's go and buy one. Can I actually get a few? I can also rush this out, but again, it's for the dust. So I think we should instead buy up some population here, so that this city will be more effective. So we'll get the 2 scribes and the 2 artisans. And then we're going to build a district. You know, I think we'll go ahead and get our first Lord's Estate. That gives you the science. Could also get the laboratory. That gives you 7 science, so a bit more than the Lord's Estate grants. This does grant more benefits, particularly later on, but might be better for right now to just get the science. Because yeah, I really feel like we need more science. We're researching pretty slow. And then she's going over here to explore this new territory. And you can see that we found a Clax deposit. So we built a quarry here that would be our first luxury resource deposit. You know, I talked about that earlier in the series, these luxury resources. So yeah, we've uncovered a bit of this new territory over here, and this explains the luxury resources. Then we need to move this guy as well. See what's on yonder. Another minor faction has been discovered. Yeah, all our units get that extra movement point because we achieved that 1 deed first. So unfortunately, we are going to have to end today's episode here. Not going to do any more battles or attack the necrophage. I think we did a good job showing what the game has to offer. Obviously could play a lot longer, a lot more stuff to show, but I mainly wanted you guys to see the Tidefall. I wanted us to get to that point, you know, after the monsoon season and the Tidefall and how it extends the map, since that's really the unique mechanic here in Endless Legend 2. I think you get an idea of what the game does have to offer, you know, with the building out of your cities and, you know, the actual battles on the map. We've seen it before. Obviously, Humankind had many of these mechanics. If you played the first Endless Legend, then some of these would be familiar as well. But the unique thing about Endless Legend, you know, that differs from Humankind or many other 4X games, is how the factions are so unique and play completely differently. So, you know, we're playing here as the Last Lords. If we were playing as the Necrophage, it'd be very different. In fact, they can only have 1 city. They can grow that one city to a very large size. As you can see, they clearly control multiple locations here. But they cannot establish another city. They could do other crazy things like tunneling around the map. But yeah, every faction has really unique mechanics and gameplay. So that's really kind of one of the cool things about the Endless Legend series, or just the Endless series I should say, because Endless Space is like that as well. But I do hope you enjoyed this short look at the game. And remember, it's now in early access, so you can purchase it on Steam. There's a link down in the description of this video. It's not an affiliated link or anything, it's just to the Steam page if you want to check it out. But yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed the series. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. If you're looking for anything else to watch, check out the front page of our channel. Got a ton of videos, all sorted by genre, so you should be able to find something that you would enjoy. In this video's description, you'll find links to our PayPal, Patreon, and Teespring store if you'd like to help support the channel. You'll also find a link to our social media and our Discord if you'd like to follow us on those sites. And yeah, I do hope to see you guys on another video, and thanks for watching.